The preachers like to say, trust in man or trust in God. Don't trust in man. Well, why did God always choose men to send his message? And not only just men, but only one type of man, the so-called Semitic man, the Jew, or who was going around claiming they're Jews, the Semitic man. You understand what I'm saying? Why would he just give the message to Moses or Abraham? And why, when Yahweh or God or whatever gave the message to Abraham, he also would tell Abraham to lie. Oh, say your wife is your sister. That way they won't kill you. You know what I'm saying? He also chose Jacob, who was also an extreme trickster. Jacob took his own brother's birthright. And I mean, you'll say it's predestined, but regardless of what you say, him and his mother tricked his father to get that birthright. He's a trickster and a liar. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look at the type of people that God chose to be his representatives on the earth. And basically, if you had beef with any of these people, God came and he fucked you up and he killed you. Even though it was several civilizations going on around that time who was flourishing, he just chose these people for whatever reason that we're not supposed to know, even though these people are controlling the banking systems to this day, using that religion to justify, I guess, whatever. And I mean, this might be going over your head, but it's like, think about it. I'm playing favorites now, so God got favorites. You know what I'm saying? God has favorites. Even when the person is a liar and rebellious, he has favorites. This is probably why a lot of you are in tune with this religion and not in tune with spirituality or following the law and harmony of nature, because you're in tune with lying all the time and you want to be up under a creator that likes liars and chooses liars to prove some type of point that I don't understand. Another thing, God always would tell Abraham and Jacob to go here, go there, go there. And when he would tell them to do that every time they went somewhere, I mean, it was some type of disruption or confusion caused by Abraham, Jacob, so on and so forth. I've read Genesis more than once because I'm into the beginnings. And this is what happens in the beginnings, because Abraham can't eat and it's famine, or Jacob can't eat, or Jacob's sons is so fucking savage that they're killing up everything, you know what I'm saying, and selling their own brother into slavery. So, they're just a nomadic people, and this is who God fucks with, and this is who he solely gives his message to. And people are supposed to believe these liars and savage scavengers, over what they've been doing as far as with science, cultivating agriculture to feed these savages who come through and they get the surplus of the food. Also, I want to know, and this is just a question. This is not me trying to put nobody on blast, but did Israel exist before World War II? Not only that, where were the Jews or the Semitic people that Hitler was killing before they lived in Germany? Because they were placed in Palestine, in a state that was renamed Israel by the United Nations. In fact, the United Nations wanted to put them in Africa, in some British colony. I don't know the exact name offhand, but that is a fact. And they said, no, put us right there in Palestine. That's our chosen land, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to know that answer. Another thing I want to say, the Bible does condemn your African gods, who you created or who created you, whichever term works best for you. Another thing we need to talk about, historically speaking, the Hebrew people had no land. They were in Egypt. They had no land. When you look at the wall of Kemet, or the steles, or whatever, and Ramesses is talking about all the people he expelled, or one of the pharaohs. I don't know exactly. But when you look at that, all of the people have a land. The So-Eans, or maybe it's the Assyrians. That's Assyria. That's the land that they come from. The Hebrew is the only people who don't have a land. Why? Well, according to this Jewish scholar, it's because basically the Hebrew were Egyptians who was expelled up out of that bitch. Why was they expelled? Because probably skin disorders that they had, where the Egyptians was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I mean, he does go to the Torah, the Old Testament, where it talks about God telling Moses, show me your hand. He pulled his hand out. His hand was white. He put it back in his cloak and said, pull it back out. And his hand was back to normal. Like young Creed's hand. It was probably brown, you know what I'm saying? Real smooth. And then also, Moses' brother had to be of the priesthood, because Moses had to start walking around with a veil on his face. He might have had leprosy or some shit like that. And you could not have leprosy and be a priest. You understand what I'm saying? And we do know that historically, there is a dude named Moses. And Moses is an Egyptian name. You know what I'm saying? He changed his name from Osar-Setheth or something like that to the Moses name. And he was down with the Aten, Akhenaten. He was down with that movement. And when Akhenaten fell off and the Amun-Ra group came back up, he had to get the fuck on, along with the Hyksos. And you know, historically, when people had skin disorders, they was sent somewhere off, like, get the fuck on, you know what I'm saying? They weren't treated the same as a regular Egyptian. You understand what I'm saying? So now you have these Egyptians with skin disorders mingling with the foreign Hyksos. And what comes of that? They disorder mingle with the foreign northern cradle bleached Hyksos is a Semite. And that's where you get this from, I believe. Now this is just theoretically speaking. Honestly, nobody knows where the fuck these motherfuckers come from. Maybe they don't come from no fucking where. They might just be a band of people that go around using a religion to set up shop. Or the shit might be true and they might have been expelled from Egypt after roaming in there in need of food, you know, and this is their god or their deity who over very long periods of time has not been kind to black people. The Middle Eastern deities haven't been kind to us. The only religion that black people have used to rule and have large empires is Islam. That's it. But even on the same token, Islam has killed a lot of black people. It's cleaned up a lot of black people and it's killed a lot of black people. It's been a big Islamic empire of black people, but it's subjugated a lot of black people. And this is also what I want to know. Why in the hell is these three major religions the ones that's so tight on our dome? Was these three major religions really tight on our dome and our antiquity and our greatness? Was they there? Did they exist? And if they did exist, did we fuck with it? So, you know, we got to ask ourselves these questions. What type of creator do you want to serve? Do you want to serve a creator who does choose a lowlife, liar, and a trickster? Or do you want to serve a creator who will, you know, play a game on you with his, I don't know, evil twin or something, where he'll give you the world and then, like, fill your face with blisters and fuck you up. And then later your captors give you a job named after the character in that book. I just want to know, is that the type of creator that you want to serve? Does that make sense to you? Let's use some sense right now. Or would you rather serve the creator, which is the body of the universe? You obey, you get rewarded for it. Your temple is blessed for it. You disobey, you're punished right there on the spot. You know, and in fact, it gives you time. I smoke cigarettes. I know goddamn well I shouldn't be smoking cigarettes. And over time, if I continue to abuse my body, I'm going to have a fucked up respiratory system.